Hey y'all, Gabe here, and you are watching another episode of Realty on Wheels. And for those of you who don't know, I'm a realtor. I run a team throughout the state of Tennessee. I personally live in Chattanooga, and I wanted to make a lot of content and give you guys great information, but I found myself constantly in my car commuting to listing appointments and showing houses. So instead, what I decided to do was kind of a 2-for-1, where as I commute to all these places, I go ahead and do my videos and touch base with you guys and just record. So if you like the information, please go ahead and like, subscribe to the page. That'd be awesome. That'd be great. But more importantly, if you or someone you know is looking to buy or sell, grab my information. It'll be somewhere on my page. If not, you can go onto my YouTube channel and find my information that way. So today is a casual day for me. I'm actually running over to the print shop. For those of you who don't know, I also am partnered in a print shop, and so today's Wednesday, and usually Wednesday is my print shop day. But that being said, what I want to talk to you guys today about is something I'm actually really excited about. And last week I had a client go under contract. Nothing special about that. What's special about this particular client, though, is that this client had already been working with a couple agents in the past that they tried to work with, and for whatever reason they ended up calling me, and not for whatever reason. Ultimately, they told me that they were not feeling good about the agents they worked with because they just kept looking for property and couldn't find anything and couldn't get under contract. And so, and I get that frustration. There's so many people that I know that are like that are in situations where they just feel like they put in offer after offer after offer after offer, and nothing happens. They don't get accepted. They don't, and they end up not getting a home. So this happens particularly with a lot of people relocating as well. But that being said, this family's local, and they were just in a sweet spot. They were their top budget was $230,000, which is a huge sweet spot. A lot of people want to be in that range, but the problem is in that range there's a lot of cash offers and a lot of conventionals in that range. So it's hard to compete because this particular family was on an FHA, and FHAs are not as desirable for listing agents, because at the end of the day, as a listing agent, whether it be me or whoever's listing the property, our goal as the listing agent is to pick the offer that's not necessarily the best in terms of number, but what's the best in terms of all the variables that it's likely to get to closing. That's the biggest factor in looking over offers. And when I discuss them with my clients, that's the first thing I tell them is I say, hey, it's not about the highest number. If they want to go with the highest number, then that's the one we accept. But it's not about the highest number. It's about which property in particular is more likely to close with the least amount of hiccups in the process. So that's really important for me. I think that there's definitely a huge advantage to having someone with cash, for example, or with a conventional loan, because they're not going to have the inspections that the FHA and the VAs would have. But again, it doesn't mean that I would never accept a FHA or VA. It just means that it's, in comparison to an all cash offer, it's more likely that a cash offer is going to get to closing without any hiccups than an FHA or a VA, or even a conventional, right? Cash is king, right? So, so that being said, that's definitely one of those things that did make it harder, because they were FHA. They were, like I said, 230 was their max. And then the other factor was they have enough for down payment on their property, but they they needed to get the closing costs paid. And so that's really difficult to get right now in this particular market. So they needed closing costs paid. They were FHA. They needed, trying to think what else. Oh, and then we also needed to do closing a little bit longer, just in case, since it was an FHA. We were trying to do something with a little bit of longer closing. So that being said, I got them under contract last week on a property for $229,000, so just $1,000 under their max budget. They accepted the FHA. They accepted a 45-day close. And to give perspective, the average closing costs for a property, in my experience here in Chattanooga, is about 3% of the sales price. And so I actually got them 5% of the sales price towards closing. And what that means is that there's actually going to be an extra approximately 2% that could be used to whatever degree they can, but could be used towards buyer points. So essentially you can buy down your interest rate, and I was able to give them some room there as well. So that being said, I really wanted to point that out, because again, it's, you know, and again, it's not that we're doing anything that's special or unique in the sense that nobody else can do it, or that there's just no way, or that we're not doing anything special, essentially, right? Myself and my team, we're not doing anything special. All we're doing is we are being extra careful into how we look at things. We are taking constant education courses on negotiating and how to get things done, how to get things squared away, more sales techniques to be able to help our clients get accepted on their offers and stuff like that. So if you've been struggling, if you've been looking at this market and you're like, man, I would love to sell my house, but if I sell my house, I don't want to be a buyer in this market. Or if you're just saying, hey, I want to move to Tennessee, but I don't want to be a buyer in Tennessee, it's just insane. Don't get discouraged. Like I said, we're not the only one. We'd be happy to help you, and you can feel free to give us a shout and give us the chance to get you into a property. But that being said, don't get discouraged. There are agents out there that can't get it done, and we just proved that with this client. We had another client probably about a month ago, call us up, and she was like, hey, I've been working with someone, but I can't find a property. And I said, okay. So we started digging through what's out there, couldn't find anything for them that was on the market. And we ended up tapping into resources for off-market properties. And within a week, I think I spoke to her on a Wednesday or Thursday. By that Sunday, we had an off-market property that fit the parameters of what they were looking for to go under contract. So that being said, like, again, yes, the inventory is low, particularly in Chattanooga. The inventory is, I would say, a record low for this season. However, the closings are at a record high. If I'm not mistaken, and I might be wrong on that, but they're definitely higher than they were last year in comparison. So you might sit there and say, oh, you know, this market's just crazy. I can't get anything done. I can't buy a house. Well, that's not true. There's plenty of houses out there, and there's plenty of opportunity out there. You just got to look. You just got to put in extra effort. And that's where we step in and are able to help people find their home, their dream home. And that being said, I just, you know, I want to encourage you that if you're in this process, go ahead and, you know, give someone a shout and just give it a shot, see what happens. So yeah, like our page, subscribe to our page, like the video. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to write them in the comments and I will respond as quickly as I can. And I'll be doing more of these videos. Hopefully I'll be able to get some of these on and we'll be able to kind of communicate a little bit more, and I'll be able to send you guys some great information, and I'll be able to do it while I commute. So it's kind of a win-win. All right, talk to you guys soon.